That's a joke.
What?
Come on, man. They did WAP on TV.
Uh, don't get into that conversation, man. Pick another song.
I'm
You don't
just
want to
saying.
go down that rabbit hole.
I'm
Oh,
just saying.
brother. No, sir. You don't want that fight. Not this early in the morning. You do not. So, hey, folks, it's the Power Hour coming to you live every Monday through Friday,
Hmm.
6 a.m. to 7 a.m. here at WURD Radio, City of Philadelphia and vicinity, or as we say, Philadelphia and vicinity.
Mm.
900 AM, 96.1 FM, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, the Google app, the Apple app, wordradio.com, just to listen on whatever device you can get to the internet on, a tin can and a string,
Mm.
Morse code, dot, 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 long, 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 short, long, 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 short. Yeah. Right now, there's somebody doing Morse code for the show.
Oh Lord.
That's right. And what they're talking about is what we're talking about. Sitting across from me is Bishop Dwayne David Royster.
And sitting across from me is the Reverend Dr. Mark Kelly Tyler.
And holding it all together this morning is none other than Kawesa.
Kawesa.
Good morning. Ooh, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
My
We
mic
can hear you
wasn't in
loud and clear.
program. Okay, there you go.
Yes. How was your ride in, Kawesa?
Pretty good. Not too bad. It rained last night a little bit, I think. I don't know where that came from. I wasn't expecting it, but I mean the roads seem to be dry now, and there was no issues, and it's warmer today, so that's good. I didn't have a scowl on my face when I walked out this morning.
I
So
can't imagine you with a scowl on your face in the morning.
it's behind my mask. No.
We wear the mask. Folks, listen, a lot to cover on this morning. Yesterday was a very interesting show. In case you missed it, you can go back and check it out on Facebook Live. You can go back and replay it for yourself, see what I'm talking about. A lot of good conversation. And a matter of fact, if you're on Facebook Live, hit the share button this morning. Send it out to others. Come in with folk like Wanda and Craig, Wanda and Tawanda. Got Gary Dorladine. Raphael is in the house. Lois, Ed Minner, who says it's the fastest 1 hour on radio. Kathleen is in the house, as well as many others this morning. Sheriff Bilal is even in here. I don't see her on here, but, again, I'm sure she's on here because somebody just shouted her out. She's the Sheriff of Nottingham, a.k.a. Philadelphia. Wow. Oh, great. Tawanda is COVID negative.
Yes, thank you. That's really good to hear. Good news.
Yeah,
So feel better. She wasn't feeling good, but feel better. Whatever it is not COVID. We're thankful.
Right. Yeah, so she had a close call there with some family, so praying for the other family members. Glad to see Feely. Maybe that's short for Felicia. I'm not sure. But again, glad to see all of you all this morning. So today, obviously, got to start in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Very, very tragic news coming out of Atlanta late last night in the Atlanta area, where can't say anything else but a crazed gunman walked into 3 different massage parlors and shot and killed a total of 8 people.
Uh-huh.
6 of those persons were Asian women.
Yep.
Who worked in those establishments, and 2 appear to be customers, a white man and a Latino man. Hard to imagine. Now they do have a person. They have a person that they believe is the person who did it, who's in custody right now. 21-year-old white guy. As we always say in moments like this, he is the accused, the alleged shooter. People are IDing him. Eyewitnesses who were outside. Apparently, he walked from one place across the street to the other place.
Yeah. Yeah.
and shot that place up, and then took off. And they caught him about almost 2 hours away from Atlanta. Um, it's hard to imagine if this is the person and the person that they showed, and he chose massage parlors that were operated by Asian women.
Hmm.
It's hard to believe that this is not somehow connected to all of the hatred and anti-Asian hate that has been going on in the country since the former president started calling COVID-19 the China flu.
That's right.
Or as they said when they thought it was really funny, Kung flu.
Yep.
Now you can't put deaths like this on any one person, but how do you not draw some parallels? I mean, how does anybody not do it? I don't know. What are your thoughts this morning on this?
Yeah, so I mean, certainly when I heard it was 3 Asian massage parlors, and actually there was this big article out yesterday about the 3,000% increase of violent activity against Asian Pacific Islanders in the United States since the coronavirus first came out. Couldn't really help but think that this is a part of some white supremacist attack or some white supremacist that, really just, decided he was going to get his vindication today. I mean, one of the things that was interesting, I was looking at some of the surveillance pictures. The guy was walking around with no mask on. I mean, I'm like, you're going to go kill folk, maybe you should wear a mask, and just walk around with no mask on. So this seemed to me, as I'm putting pieces together in my own head, I'm not saying that this is part of the reason, but I do think that there is something very much going on with this. Again, this is the South. We shouldn't really judge people about how they look, but this guy had the look of, somebody that was a white supremacist. And it was very troubling in many different ways. So very, very discouraging, painful to hear. I often wonder if our Asian siblings are now beginning to understand what it feels like to be black in America. In many ways, being targeted, being hated, vilified in such the ways that they are. Not that I would wish that on any other community. I don't wish it on our community. But now, in this particular moment, they're really stoking the ire of hate in this country from people for reasons which are way beyond their control. And so it's just very painful to watch, to listen to hear the audacity of somebody, 3 different spots, literally just walked across the street and, went and shot and killed 6 Asian women, plus those 2 men. So really sad moment, really sad moment.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, it's we've been hearing this, and people have been saying for the last year and some months now, since the onset of coronavirus, that the former president's rhetoric was extremely dangerous and reckless, and that ultimately somebody was going to lose their life behind it.
Yep.
And I'm sure this morning he's knowing, the way that he's treated everything else, that he is more than likely just like, that ain't on me, because nothing ever is. And so again, I say, a person's actions are their actions. But I mean, in America, we have laws against inciting riots, right? So it's not like there's not like we have this firewall between rhetoric and other people's behavior.
Right.
Because if you and I were in the middle of a protest and we got up and said, we ought to burn City Hall down, and people started burning it down, guess what they would do?
They'd arrest us.
They'd arrest you. That's right. You and me would be in jail, and they'd say that's on us.
That's right.
So if that's on us, then I don't think you can totally walk away from, the ways in which, this person has incited people to feel like they've got, and look, this is like one targeted group. Right. Throughout his presidency, he spewed so much hatred at other people that you got to imagine there's almost somebody like the killer from Atlanta in, I mean, like almost for every particular group that kind of, was on the receiving end of him misusing the bully pulpit.
That's right.
Now, one of the things that is that's coming out of this morning is the fact that this suspect was actually captured and not
Yes.
killed.
Yes. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
It's the South.
it's America.
Well, they said he came along, though. He did not fight at all whatsoever.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna read like one quick tweet that this is one of the first tweets that I saw. The person says, "So sad. At least they showed that Atlanta is capable of apprehending someone without murdering them."
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of takes you back to the whole Dylan Roof thing, right? Where it's like you got a suspect that is absolutely armed. At least you believe the person is armed, has already killed, will probably kill again if, given an opportunity, and yet he's apprehended. Now, because I bring that up because the other thing that's in the news right now that's trending is out of Wilmington, Delaware, our neighbor to the south. And body camera footage has been released in the killing of, by two officers of a Bear, Delaware man last month by the name of Lyman Moses. Did you see the video?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, it's kind of classic. It's the classic, he used his car as a weapon. We had no choice but to kill him. Story.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that's true. I saw this video last night. Yeah.
Right. And so first of all, it's like there were questions about why he was even being like
Detained.
stopped.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's not like he is wanted for, not like he was wanted for shooting up 3 massage parlors and killing 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say that. It was a traffic stop. He's trying to get away.
Yeah.
Which is illegal and you should not do. But by all accounts, I think that the penalty for that is that you'll be arrested for evading arrest or evading police officers,
Mm-hmm.
and that does not come with the instant death penalty.
Right.
What
And
I
by
saw,
the way, the video showed him totally working to go around the police, not at the police. He was literally, you can see he was clearly going around them, not going at them.
well, right, because all right, so here's
And they unloaded. I mean,
brother, listen, this is armchair quarterbacking, right?
Yeah.
We were not there. And that's what they'll tell us is that you don't know, you weren't there. But we're looking at your body cam footage.
Mm-hmm.
And what I know is if somebody is using a vehicle to kill me, then if I got a gun and I'm shooting at that vehicle, I am shooting and the front window is going to be blown out.
Right.
Because I'm shooting at you coming at me. If all the bullets are on the side of the car as it passes you,
That's right.
it's hard to kind of understand how you make the argument that you had to kill this person because they'd already passed you.
Right.
What was the imminent threat at that moment?
Right.
Did you see it? I mean, I'm just asking seriously. I only saw the video once, but I'm like looking at it, thinking to myself, like, wait, where was the imminent threat? Because their report initially was used vehicle as a weapon. And I got to tell you, as many of these stories as we follow in Philadelphia, that is almost always the excuse.
Well, I mean, people are trained. The police are trained to say that, right? Because that's automatically their get out of jail card free. You get out of free. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The thing that happens in this particular circumstance is they are trained. I actually talked to a guy who was an instructor, who was a preacher, African American preacher down in Baton Rouge, who used to train at the police academy down in Louisiana, and he said we trained police officers at the time to say that the suspect was coming at me, regardless of what happens, regardless of whether they are or not. You always say that the suspect was coming after you and was a threat. And then that's sort of your get out of jail free card. And so this particular circumstance, watching this video, I mean, now that you brought it up, I didn't hear the beginning of the story, but I saw the video, And all I remember them saying is that the police said the suspect was trying to charge them. And I'm looking at this guy who's clearly going all the way around them, trying to do the best he can to get away from them. And they just unloaded in that particular circumstance. So it was pretty hard to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even keep up with the number of shots. And again, this is a person that I mean, I guess it is. So obviously the person we're talking about, Lyman Moses, was black.
Yes.
The suspect in the shooting in Atlanta is white.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the police knew when they caught him, they got the right person. That's their assumption. Who just killed 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And is armed and dangerous. And yet he's in a jail right now, waiting to talk to an attorney. And it was done without incident, apparently. Yep. Lyman Moses, according to our production assistant, Stone, who just sent us a text, 2 of us, your brother, this started with him falling asleep in front of his mother's house in a car.
And the car was parked.
Yeah, according to Stone. And so,
wow.
But you know, the idea that for us, very simple interactions rise to the occasion where deadly force is required,
mm-hmm.
versus people who actually deadly force is absolutely understood in a moment, walk away scot-free, and in the case of Dylan Roof, get taken to Burger King on their way to jail by the police.
Yep.
It's just unconscionable. And again, I don't want to get, I don't want to forget the fact that right now as well that the Asian American community is hurting, and rightfully so.
Right.
And they have been on the receiving end of what many of them have not felt. I mean, a lot of this current generation hasn't gone through this. It's probably been since World War II, well, maybe even the Vietnam War to some extent, but more definitely with World War II, and then before that, the whole anti-Chinese immigrant, hatred of the 1800s.
Yep.
So there have been periodic waves of this, but by and large, they have escaped the harsh racialization that black people and brown people have gone through, and once again are going through the same kind of things that we go through on a daily basis. So again, man, we just, praying for the victims' families, and it's 6:21. We got to take a quick break, and we come back. We'll read some of the comments from social media as well. Post your thoughts, how you're feeling, and we'll share that. This is the Power Hour. Don't you move.
Recovery starts with a call. Pennsylvania's Substance Use Disorder Hotline is staffed by real people who are trained to help. They're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They'll get you or your loved one into treatment regardless of your access to insurance. If you or someone you know is suffering from addiction, call 1-800-662-HELP. Recovery starts with a call.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Clark Roofing Company has over 30 years of quality roofing experience, providing exceptional customer service, honesty, and professionalism. Clark Roofing is a second-generation master roofer, installing top-quality roofing systems for commercial and residential properties across the tri-state area. For fast, dependable service, call 215-365-ROOF. That's 215-365-7663.
This Women's History Month, WURD Radio is proud to celebrate Black women innovators and trailblazers who have helped us all level up.
Welcome to Black Artist Story 365. My name is Envy McKee. Get into this episode where we explore the art and artistry of iconic television producer, screenwriter, and author Shonda Rhimes. Star cousin goddess Shonda is the creator, executive producer, and head writer of Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy spinoff series Private Practice. Scandal. How to Get Away with Murder. Just so we're clear, Cousin Shonda is the first woman who happens to be black to create 3 hit shows with over 100 episodes each. The first to have them all back-to-back on the same primetime network. The first to have all of them shows be helmed by iconic women, and certainly the first to have 2 of them shows helmed by iconic black women, and certainly the first to have all of her shows be as diverse as all of her shows are. Shout out to Bridgerton. So that's it for this episode of Black Artist Story 365. My name is Envy McKee. See you next episode.
This Women's History Month vignette was brought to you by Comcast and Thomas Jefferson University and Jefferson Health.
WURD recognizes Black women innovators and entrepreneurs who are making history every day. Nominate a Black woman-owned business for our Level Up contest. Go to wordradio.com for more information. Brought to you by Bank of America, Comcast, Keystone First, PICO, Thomas Jefferson University, and Jefferson Health.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. We're here Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news happenings around Philadelphia and, of course, our opinions. We saw that a lot of you did not make many comments on this case here, I guess because it's another day, another dollar, same story. Unfortunately, for being Black in America, you know, the challenges and the price that we pay. But there's this other story coming out of Southington, Connecticut, about a woman by the name of Gwen Samuel, who has an organization called the Connecticut Parents Union, which advocates for equal education opportunities for children in Connecticut, similar to education advocacy organizations here in the state of Pennsylvania. Specifically, we have several organizations similar to that here in Philadelphia. She went to a TD Bank to withdraw $1,000 out of her account to pay her vendor. This is reported by Huffington Post. And the money was in the bank. The check that she had deposited had been verified as being cashed. And the teller refused to give her her money. The teller says to the woman, "I don't feel comfortable giving you the money." And so Samuel said she told the station, "I got confused, so I said, you don't feel comfortable giving me the money?" And she said, "Yes, you just deposited the check yesterday." She verified that the money was clear and everything, and she was shocked by the teller's response. "I just don't feel comfortable giving it to you." And so Gwen left the bank, went to the ATM machine, because there's a limit to how much you can pull out of an ATM in the course of a day. So she pulled out what she could out of the ATM machine, no problem. Went to another branch in Bristol, Connecticut. I actually happen to know where these know the area. So went to Bristol, Connecticut, is about about 20 minutes away. Went to the branch there, pulled out the rest of the money, no problem whatsoever. She was able to get the money that she needed to be able to go pay the vendor. However, she had to think, why didn't she feel comfortable giving me the money? And she's banked with TD Bank for 16 years. 16 years.
There's a reason. The teller had a legitimate reason for not giving her the money.
What was that legitimate reason?
The teller just said, "I don't feel comfortable giving you this money."
You don't feel comfortable giving me my money?
No. I'm looking at you, and I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. I know this is your license. I know this is your bank card, but I'm looking at you, and I just feel like this is a scam. I don't feel comfortable. So that's her legitimate reason.
So TD Bank, she filed a complaint. She staged a protest outside the branch. TD Bank responds, sent this statement: "The security of our customers' account is a top priority, and we regret the specific reasons why the transaction could not be completed may not have been explained to Ms. Samuel at our Queen Street store in Southington." Okay, the other branch didn't seem to have a problem giving them money. Anyway, due to privacy concerns, we cannot discuss the account activity of particular customers, although we can confirm that the customer's transaction was completed at another TD store in the vicinity. We regret that Ms. Samuel did not have a positive experience, which is what we strive to provide, and that she did not receive a satisfactory explanation regarding her transaction. We are contacting her to review her transaction and to understand and address her concerns.
That's corporate BS talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she said she did wind up talking to them. She talked to them about diversity training, but she said that doesn't work because, at least for this branch at Southington, so she said she would get back to them and let them know what she wants. But she's also filed a complaint with the Federal Reserve, and the banking committee of the State General Assembly. She says she wants them to be held accountable for this.
Listen, there is an easy solution. I've got it for you.
What's that?
It's an age-old solution, one that our ancestors and foreparents knew.
Mm-hmm.
So Gwen Samuel of Connecticut, what you need in your life going forward, especially for your banking transactions, if you want to buy a house, want to lease an apartment, want to lease a building for your business, every black person needs this. You need a good, reputable white friend who will vouch for you.
Jeez.
Why are you laughing?
No, I mean, I hear you.
Why are you laughing?
I mean, look.
You tell me that if she didn't have a white friend standing there with her who said, come on, it's Gwen. I've known her. It's like, oh, I feel more comfortable now giving you money. Because remember, she didn't get the money not because of something like empirical data, like your license is expired, your debit card doesn't match. You got all the stuff, but right now there's a missing piece, and I just don't feel quite comfortable. Maybe if there was a white person here vouching for you, I'd feel better. In comes my white friend. This is Mark. He's my guy. Thanks, John. You laugh, but I'm telling you,
dude,
it is true.
Look.
That's when you, at that moment at the bank, Gwen could have picked up her phone, said, excuse me, one moment. Here, it's my friend Karen. Karen, please tell the teller I'm okay. Oh, thanks, Karen. I feel better. Here's your $1,000. Would you like anything else? Want a sucker, a lollipop?
So let me just say, when I first started reading this article, I thought she was trying to take $100,000, take $200,000 out of the bank.
$1,000.
I'm like, it's $1,000.
$1,000.
It's just $1,000. I mean, I'm like, really? I was like, wow. I'm expecting to see some exorbitant amount of money that is like she's trying to take out of the bank that's problematic. It was $1,000.
I'm trying to tell you. You listen. Edwin Bowles said she's laughing. He said he just watched Eddie Murphy's skit from 1984 on Saturday Night Live, "White Like Me." Kind of touches on what I'm talking about. I'm telling you right now, listen, having a white friend helps with everything. College applications, bank loans, appraisal on your house. Think about it. Getting a doctor's appointment, getting your COVID vaccine. It's like when you go to this exclusive club and the line is long and the bouncer won't let you in.
Mm-hmm.
And say, hold on, excuse me, sir. Maybe you didn't know. John, come here, John. Tell him who I am. This is my friend Mark. Oh, open up the door, let him in.
Jeez.
Oh, God, are you kidding? Banking while black. That's right, Sheriff Bilal. Banking while black. Could you see Rochelle Bilal like, but I'm the sheriff of Philadelphia County. 1.5 million people. Yeah. But we just don't feel comfortable giving you the money.
Yeah, it's.
But I got my sheriff uniform on, the hat, my bars, and everything.
Dude.
Yeah, you got to come back with Karen.
You know what? You just, That'd be a new business for white folk, right? Everybody, I'm going to be your best friend. Just pay me to be your best friend. I'll take care of everything.
There's a market for it. We both are laughing, but literally, I guarantee you there is a market for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, wow, that's a horrible story, by the way. I mean, she wanted to cry. I don't blame her, man. I'd actually want to do more than that. That's the kind of stuff.
And she trying to pay a bill. You know they say black folk don't like to pay their bills.
Dude,
and she trying to pay a bill. And she can't get her money to pay a bill.
Let me just tell you something. There ain't nothing, worse than keeping somebody's money from them. When it's your money.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had to try to go get your money and somebody's holding your money playing games?
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff. I mean, when it's your money and you work for it, and it is literally sitting right there, they're like, no, you can't get it. Let's just be glad the story ended the way it did, where she protested and did a social media campaign, because I know some folk who would have turned up. They wouldn't have went and got their white friend Karen. They would have went and got some more black friends.
Pookie and Ray Ray.
TD Bank would have been missing some ink pens, some little desk calculators, deposit slips strewn all over the place. Better give my boy his money, son. Jeez, man, that's so crazy. Well, hey, listen, here's a bit of good news. So in Philadelphia, I don't see the list. Have you seen it of zip codes where people are can get vaccinated with a walk-up appointment with FEMA?
Nah, I haven't seen that list.
All right, so yesterday when I started talking about this, that they're doing walk-ups, I guess the information was a little premature. So they clarified the statement yesterday, and so they are doing walk-ups. But you have to be in one of the 22 zip codes of Philadelphia that have been hardest hit and most disproportionately treated with regard to COVID testing and everything else. And so if you're in one of those 22 zip codes, you can walk up and no appointment is needed. And I think they said they're doing setting aside about 3,000 of those vaccines a day.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
That is. Yeah, with the goal of, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn I heard up to 4,000. But anyway, 3,000 is still a lot. So if you know people who are in some of those impacted zip codes, that's the word that you need to get out on today. Let folk know to check with the city. It's got to be on the city's website. Maybe one of our production assistants can take a look at it while we're, talking. But again, would love to share those zip codes with you. Got to believe that some of those are in North Philly and in West Philly. And Tracy is with me. She says you got to have a white friend. Thank you, Kier. Thank you so very much. You have to be in at least category 1B or up as well. So a number of pre-existing conditions, but again, this is going to make it a lot easier for a number of people to get vaccinated, but we have to get the information. Now, this does seem to say to me that what President Biden said looks like it actually may come to pass, that by the end of May, going into June, that pretty much anybody that wants to get a vaccine can walk up to their pharmacy or FEMA site and actually get a walk-up appointment and get vaccinated.
That's good. I'm still not able to get vaccinated here yet. But that's a thing. That's a thing. I just feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah.
So that's good news. I mean, I'm glad that they're doing the walk-ups. They're actually getting people to come in. Actually, my parents were actually able to get their first shot, so I'm very excited about that.
Good.
My mom was able to go to Montgomery County College. My dad was able to go to a Rite Aid, so we are grateful for that. And looking forward to that happening. So please, folk, if you're out there and you need to get the shots, and we all do, please follow up and go get some of those walk-up shots. It's actually amazing that they have 3,000 to 4,000 shots available a day, because at one point Philadelphia wasn't even giving that many shots in the course of a day. So
that's just for those 22 zip codes. They're doing more than that.
Right, absolutely. No, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the FEMA site's helping out. Hopefully they'll open up the one in Montgomery County shortly, too, when they get more doses coming in. So that'll be really helpful.
So your dad got his done at Rite Aid?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Is your dad black?
He is. He's sure enough black. There's no mistaking that he's black.
And he got it done. I'm sorry, I meant Rite Aid, but he got it done at Rite Aid.
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay. Trying to turn their story around, huh?
I guess they are. Trying to make that thing work.
Maybe they heard the show.
I mean, now that we're talking about race stuff today, so Senator Ron Johnson went on to talk and was in conversation with Cheryl Underwood, the comedian who's one of the co-hosts. And Cheryl Underwood used to be the former president of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. She's been a comedian for a very long time. And so Ron Johnson was on there basically saying that There was nothing racial about his comments whatsoever. He said that, so some of you remember Ron Johnson basically said he wasn't afraid the day of the insurrection. He would have been afraid if it was Black Lives Matters and Antifa. And he said, this isn't about race, it's about riots. I've been attacked and criticized because I pushed back on the narrative that there were thousands of armed insurrectionists, and that's just a small part of the 74 million Americans that voted for Donald Trump that also need to be suspected of being potential domestic terrorists or also potentially armed insurrectionists. That is a false narrative, and so the few of us that push back on that, we get mercilessly attacked.
And immediately following that powerful statement, a white man goes and kills 8 people in Asian massage parlors because of what? I mean, like literally. Like, so immediately, the moment you make that statement, it's undercut by this act.
Yep.
Boy, I mean, Ron Johnson, I mean, dude, stop trying to be Trump because you can't be Trump. There's only one Trump.
Jim Clyburn just called out straight up and said he's a racist. that's
First of all, wait, he was on The View. He was on the View. He was on, I thought they
with Sharon Osbourne, right?
I thought the talk was on hiatus because all their racist crap.
No, this one, he was on there.
So, wait, really, the talk.
I bet they only took 2 days off.
They
only took 2 days off.
So the talk that's having an issue with race decides to come back from hiatus from that debacle and welcome Ron Johnson as their first guest?
Well, one of the guests, yes.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you, it's too early in the morning. Look, we got to take a break. Council member Helen Gim is on the line when we come back. And we want to get her thoughts because she's been an outspoken advocate in the Asian American community in Philadelphia. But want to get her thoughts about what's going on, not just in Atlanta, but I've been watching her social media feed for the last 4 years. And she, like others, sadly have been predicting a moment like yesterday. And so I'm sure she's not shocked, as angry and saddened as she is, but we need to get some insight into this and maybe hear what we're not hearing. This is the Power Hour. We'll be right back on the other side.
Did you know that March is National Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month? Colon cancer is the third most diagnosed cancer in both men and women. But for African Americans, 20% are more likely to get colorectal cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it than most other groups. For more information, go to getscreened.org. That's getscreened.org. Plus, stay tuned for more information on our up-and-coming Go to Know campaign for the WURD listening audience.
Attention WURD audience, do you know that you can get help with your PICO energy bill? PICO is here to help you with financial help through various assistance programs, including the PICO CAP program, which provides a monthly credit for eligible low-income customers based on the customer's total household gross income and energy usage. If you are experiencing financial hardship, you may qualify for the PICO CAP program.
And PICO Cares is the customer assistance and referral evaluation service designed to assist special needs, low-income customers who have a temporary personal or financial hardship that prevents the payment of your PICO energy bill. If you have a special needs child or adult in your care, your household may qualify for the CARES program.
Call 1-800-774-7040 today to see if you qualify due to an existing situation or a change in circumstances within your household. Call 1-800-774-7040 today for more information on the PICO CAP or PICO CARES program. PICO, powering our communities.
Are you looking for a job? Do you have skills in design, engineering, or computer programming? Get ready for Network, a virtual job fair with Technically Media. On Thursday, March 18th from noon to 6 p.m., the employers at Network are looking to learn more than just what's on your resume. Your personality and fit have real weight in the interviews. Technically is a partner of WURD Radio's Livelihood Initiative. Register for Network, the virtual tech job fair taking place on March 18th at WURDworks.com. It's Women's History Month, and we want to honor Black women authors by helping you level up and read up. Join the Forward movement and get a free copy of a book from one of the most influential Black women today. For a limited time, you can add The Little Book of Big Lies by Tina Lifford, She Came to Slay by Erica Dunbar, Sing Unburied Sing, a novel by Jesmyn Ward, or Acts of Faith by Jan Van Zant to your reading collection. Level up and read up. Go to wordradio.com/join now to join or renew your Forward membership and get your free book today.
Now, a traffic update on WURD Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Staples Store. Some volume getting busy 95 southbound, Cotman down through Bridge through construction, then again Allegheny through Girard northbound. No problems there. Westbound Vine, slow Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill itself both ways. Not a bad ride as of yet. Boulevard Route 1 southbound, some slowing between Broad and Fox through construction. 42 in New Jersey, not bad. 55 northbound, building a bit north of Deptford into 42. Staples has everything your business needs to ship, like UPS shipping services. Now get 20% off UPS Express shipping service at Staples. Plus buy one and get one free on decorative shipping supplies, in store only. Offer ends 4/3/21 while supplies last. Exclusions apply. Staples. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a WURD weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
Cloudy skies and a chance of some mist and drizzle this morning, and a cold start. Temperatures in the 30s, warming into the mid-40s by lunchtime, and a high of 53 with mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Clouds through the night tonight. Rain develops tomorrow morning, and it's going to be a rainy Thursday with rain heavy at times in the afternoon and Thursday night. High of 50 on Thursday. Rain lingers into Friday morning and may end with some snow showers. Then gusty winds clearing Friday afternoon from 38 in the morning to a high of 46, but with the wind, it will feel like it's in the 30s. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley with your most accurate forecast.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour, Dwayne Royster and Mark Kelly Tyler. So we have on the line right now Council Member Helen Gim, who is the Council Member at Large. We appreciate Council Member getting up early in the morning and joining us today. Council Member Gim, how are you today?
Good morning.
I know it's early.
Well, yeah, and it's well, I mean, I got to imagine, Council Member, you probably didn't sleep very well last night. When did you get the news about Atlanta?
I think obviously the first thing I do is you usually see it on social media. And, I think one of the things that's worth noting is that yesterday, yesterday has been led to, it was 3,800 incidences of violence recorded by a group called Stop AAPI Hate that led to yesterday's violence. A former president and an administration's nonstop slurs and haranguing and racism led to yesterday's violence. The FBI's refusal to take white supremacy seriously led to yesterday's violence. And the continued invisibility, marginalization, disregard for the fact that AAPIs and their experiences led to yesterday's violence. I don't think it's any surprise that, of the 8 victims yesterday, most of them were women, that it happened at a place where women are often exploited and victimized, and that it happened in Georgia, where there's both the intersection of advances and pushes and pulls and, a 21-year-old, monstrous individual takes tools and weapons of violence and enacts them against vulnerable people. And it's upsetting, and to some extent, I hope that a little bit of the reflection, this morning, last night, some of the work that we've done, we've tried to do a lot of work here just locally, both to unite communities together around issues of violence, racism, hate, oppression, whether they come from a white supremacist or whether they come from institutions or individuals. But it's to recognize that all those elements exist everywhere, and so I hope today brings us a little bit closer, amongst communities and reaching out. I know that in our neighborhoods we can have so much conflict with Asian Americans. We work really hard to try and bring out, voices and let people know that there are groups and organizations that they can go to if they're experiencing or, dealing with like conflict, and just to take it very seriously.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So in, the Asian American community is like any other community. It's not monolithic. We often talk about it as though it is. And I know, that you could probably talk a little bit, about the differences, but do moments like this kind of bring about like a solidarity that may not be there all the time? I mean, help me kind of understand that part. Like what's going on right now within the Asian American community and that conversation amidst this growing threat by white supremacists?
What I would say is that there, our community, like many communities, has experienced violence. I think, the way that communities experience violence is both treated and can be experienced very differently. I think one of the things that APIs have struggled with is about the invisibility and marginalization of it all. And so, I think at one point in Philadelphia, there was a place called Chink Steaks, right? And when it got raised, it was kind of mocked as being not a very serious issue and, kind of set aside or poo-pooed. There are more serious issues that are out there than you complaining about some private business's name. And I think what we know is that the elements of hate work its way into your psyche. They become normalized, and then it becomes like a victimization and a power issue. And so, the discussion has been, to what extent can you draw attention to what's happening to APIs? And I think in Philadelphia, where I hope we do a little bit better of a job around race and combating white supremacy and hate and institutions in particular, how can we, be part of broader efforts to transform our culture and our institutions rather than just trying to, isolate or carve out or, just do one piece of it. And I think you need both. Like, you have to recognize that API violence does happen, that it doesn't exist in isolation. It does look very different. Again, I think with a situation like this, it's not a surprise that, again, as I said, that he targeted women, at more than likely immigrant women who are at a place like a massage parlor. You can see on social media all the grotesque kind of like comments that start to go out that, again, re-victimize victims all over again. And so, internally within us, we're trying to figure out ways in which you can lift up your experience in a dehumanizing situation that brings you closer to humanity. And it is an ongoing struggle. We're extremely diverse. We don't, there's no common language here. There are dozens of different languages. We've got immigrants and longtime residents, much like within other communities of color. And those experiences are often not shared and sometimes not valued or appreciated. Women, misogyny and patriarchy are probably as vibrant and alive, unfortunately, within the AAPI community as it is within any others. And then I think, there is also the aspect of culture. And, I think in particular, the attack against massage parlors and what that has meant for the Asian American female experience, what it means for immigrants, is really important for us to begin to talk about, because I think AAPIs also as well will turn their backs, not take a look at what's happening to vulnerable and exploited people, and extend support, figure out policies and, and help people move forward. So we're going through a lot of that now. I think a lot of people are saying internally, though, whenever it happens to me, nobody cares, and it's never seen very seriously.
Well, listen, council member, we're glad that you got up this morning. We'll have to get you back on to talk about the Delaware County Juvenile Jail that's been closed, but we're out of time now. We got to make way for Wake Up with Word in a few moments. But again, our hearts go out to the Asian American community, and we remember in this moment, while some people may be tuning into a all black talk radio, why are we talking about this? Because as Dr. King said, who was also from Atlanta, that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And so if we ever needed to be together, it's right now. So we certainly appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And as you said, I think this issue of white supremacy and the police and FBI not taking it seriously is going to hurt everybody.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, council member.
Thank you. Thank you both.
All right.
Wow, man, that's crazy. Well, listen, I know we got to go. I don't know how we missed this morning, but Emma Chappelle passed away.
Yeah, passed away the other day, 80 years of age. The first black woman in America to found a commercial bank.
United Bank.
She was also a co-host on the show. I mean, not on the show, on the station with the Black Women's Leadership Council. They did a program once a week, I believe, and really sad. It was reported in the Tribune, and so we're remembering Emma Chappelle today. Just a quick Emma Chappelle story. So when I was 16 and I had become an Eagle Scout, I was sponsored by, the Union League holds this dinner, and they have this thing at the Union League. Eugene Pressler, who was the VP for personnel. Anyway, I got a job at Continental Bank, and actually when she was a VP at Continental Bank downtown, I used to be the guy that delivered her mail during the summers. So
that's
what do you say?
No, go ahead.
No, so I mean, I used to work at the Fort Washington branch. I had to come down to the Center City branch, and I would bring the mail from the main office to the Center City branch, and I would deliver it to her office.
Well, you know what? One thing about Emma Chappelle, I bet you in her branch, she never had to, nobody was ever told they were not comfortable getting their money.
Nope, I bet you they didn't. Bet you they didn't have that experience at all. Anyway, well, we'll talk about that some more tomorrow. But anyway, thanks everybody for checking us out here on the Power Hour. We'll be back tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news, happenings around Philadelphia, and, of course, our opinions, and we have plenty of them. Thank you, Kwesa, for holding down the boards. Thank you, Dr. Tyler, for everything that you do each and every morning as one of our co-hosts here. Thank you, everybody that's listening to us on Facebook, YouTube, on the air, all the various places that you find ourselves. Now, stay tuned for Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones, and listen, do us and yourself a favor. Go out, change the damn world, because if you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
Oh, I got eyes in the back.